Welcome to In the Wall with me, Parker Kligerman. We are going to do some betting. We're going to jump back into the betting segment that we did back in March with the start of the playoffs in NASCAR Cup Series. And we're going to do this each week and sort of tally up how well I do with racing beans. So I'm going to start with 100 racing beans this week at Richmond, and then we're just going to count them up after each week and see if I end up with way more racing beans or without any racing beans at all. Right, so let's jump into the picks for Richmond and some of the odds. When I look at a winner, I always start with a safety pick. So that is someone that has very much a favorite to win. And to me, that is Martin Truex Jr. He's plus 460. He's great at short tracks. He's so fast on the long run at tracks that are wore out. That's Richmond. And he's hungry to win. Can't go wrong there. I would put 15 racing beans there to win just under 70 racing beans. Right. Then I always do a smart pick. This is someone that normally to me is outside the 10-1, right? So they're definitely great odds. And when I look at them, I think who in there can get into the top 5? And the reason being is that I always say in NASCAR, it's not about having the fastest car. It's not about, having the best car. It's just about having a car that can be in the top 5 in position to win. So that's normally you can find someone that's outside 10-1 that can do that. This week, unfortunately, we can't. So Brad Keselowski is plus 900 or 9-1. He would be my smart pick. I'd put 12 racing beans on that. If he won, I'd get 108 racing beans. That's a pretty awesome return. And then it's the long shots. So Clint Bowyer at plus 3,300 and Erik Jones at plus 3,500. You can't go wrong with those two. Clint's great short tracks. Erik Jones is great at Richmond, very motivated. Both are probably very motivated. And you'd get huge returns with 10 racing beans. You get 330 back from Clint. With 10 to Erik, 350 racing beans. That's an awesome return. Definitely take those two as the long shots. Also, there's matchups. These are driver versus driver. Two that caught my eye were Martin Truex Jr. at negative 150 versus Kyle Busch at plus 130. I'm taking Martin Truex there. If I put in 25 racing beans, I get just under 17. And then another one that caught my eye, Aric Almirola versus Erik Jones, both negative 110. I'm taking Erik Jones. Same reasons as for the long shot. One to avoid in the matchups, Brad Keselowski versus Joey Logano. They're way too even. There's a huge spread on them. Don't like it at all. Avoid that one. And then lastly, one of the most fun places to in the betting realm, I believe, for races and to get some different names in here is when you go into the group bets. And there's one that really caught my eye for a couple reasons, and that is Christopher Bell versus Cole Custer versus Ryan Newman versus Tyler Reddick. First of all, 3 of those guys are rookies and they've never been to Richmond in a Cup car versus a guy who's a veteran in Ryan Newman. So I just think that's a hilarious matchup. I would take, personally, Christopher Bell at plus 265, 14 racing beans, nets me just over 37 racing beans, and that would be a pretty good night. So those are my picks. I want to hear about yours. Let us know in the comments below what you think of mine, what you would have picked maybe for this weekend at Richmond. And, of course, join us next week where we'll tally up how well I did and see if I've got any racing beans to bet for next week.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.